Hello my friends, today I wanted to show you how I did in my overboard tournament, Coventry International round number 9. If you don't know, I like to play d4 and I have no problems with playing the Nimzo Indian, and I played a very chilled out variation e3, but I don't really know the theory moves, so I go for takes. He takes, queen a5. Yes, I have triplet pawns, but pair of bishops, open b and d file, and the pawn up for now. I decide to play queen to c2 to defend the pawn, and here my opponent decides, she's a woman, she decides to castle. I decide to play rook to b1 to control the b5 square to just put my rook on the open file. She takes, I play rook to b5, she goes queen to c7, which I believed to be worse than queen e7. But this just allows me to play c5 in my mind, because it actually turns out not to be the best. After b6, he takes b, even ab, and even just playing knight to f3, she can just go bishop a6, rook b3, bishop f1, and decastle my king. Obviously, black is better here. I don't know what I was thinking during the game. Oh, I didn't even want to take the pawn. I was thinking of, I was thinking here, and then rook to b3, and then bishop b7, bishop a3, and I believed this position to be good for me, but actually turns out not to be. So guys, you can see we at 2000, even 900 and 1900 rating FIDE make many mistakes. Knight to f3. Now I'm becoming slightly better. That's how I envisioned the position. I play c4 because I want to develop my bishop and put pressure onto e5. I go to bishop e2 just to be able to castle bishop g4. She's giving away a pawn, so I just take it. Bishop takes, I take, and what do you do here? Well, it's a very difficult position for black because she's got two knights, I've got two bishops, I am a pawn up, I have a lot more space. I decide to play rook to b5, knight to c6, and then castles. Did you expect that? Literally just castling onto this open file. Why? Because her pieces are gonna be struggling to get to the g file, so I don't really care. I decide to play king to h1 just to allow my rook to go to g1 in case anything happens. I'm not sure if I'm gonna ever play this, but why not give myself opportunity, right? a6, rook to b3, moving backwards. Now I decide to play rook to g1, so my both bishop and rook are targeting one square. Yes, the bishop has a long way to actually look at g7, but this is chess, and it's important to keep motives like these because they can sometimes just appear out of nowhere. Knight to a5, rook to c3. I love this rook. Yes, it's blocking the bishop, but protecting the queen from the rook, and also working with the queen very well. So she decides to play rook to c6, do double up, and put pressure on this pawn. I spot that this knight is kind of weak, so I attack it. Rook to c1, moving backwards, connecting my rooks. Rooks, what they need to do? Come on, tell me. They need to be together in order to get maximum teamwork. Again, my rooks are not together. I think they're having argument. Rook c5, bishop a3, so now cutting through the a3 f8 diagonal, which is super powerful for a bishop. You will see how powerful this bishop is gonna turn out to be. It's gonna completely cut off the knight, completely cut off the rook. The queen will also have a lot less space if Just lovely bishop. So I decided to play queen to c2, which is not the best in the computer's view, but I have an idea. I want to control the f5 square. I want to control the e4 square, just so if I play f4, I have no checks from the queen. So let's say I just play f4 now, right? ef, and let's say I play a random move like here. There's always queen to e4 that I don't really like. So I just play simple moves, and you know what? My opponent moves backwards because she wants to protect the g7 square. And now I spot the opportunity. You see this bishop? It's weak, right? What if we improve it? That's also the point of queen to c2, because I wanted to play bishop to d3 and bishop to f5. But my opponent made it easier for me. She played f4. She took. I played bishop to g4. Tactics time, and look at this. This bishop cutting through here. This bishop cutting through here. Literally, the entire central area of my opponent's camp is cut through. Queen f6, bishop c8, rook c8. So currently an exchange up. Queen to f5, forcing queen exchange, forcing queen exchange number 2. Rook to b1, putting more pressure in. And now this position, you might say these knights are weak, but actually, when this knight goes on e6, it's gonna be a super powerful piece, because it will never be able to be kicked out by black square bishop. Why? Yeah, because on a white square it's very simple. I play queen to c5, threatening checkmate, very sneaky checkmate. Knight e6, knight c7, rook to g1, connecting my rooks. Here I decide to go rook to b6. Well, she cannot really take, because I'm gonna play rook to b8 and win a knight. And what after knight c7? Well, the bishop comes on the target of the knight, but the knight is pinned, so it doesn't matter. It needs to move. Now I take. The knight cannot take back, so rook takes. And I am a rook up. I think I'm able to win this game, although if you remember round 6, I blundered a position that was plus 16. So h6, just getting some space for the king, rook to b8, bishop d6, and now this knight is not pinned, so it can take back. And I am an exchange up, but a pawn down. So what I want to do is simplify. I play rook to c8, pinning the knight. The knight moves, the rook goes. Rook to c3, rook to b7, putting pressure on, and you might say, oh no, losing a knight, right? No. This is a very popular motive. The knight can just jump back and defend the rook. Very nice, right? Wait, can you hear the sirens? Okay, I think they're not gonna go. Let me just talk through those. So now I go king to g2. Need to be really careful to not play king to f2, as from +5 position it could turn out to be -6. Fork. And knight takes. Rook to c2, a4, so now targeting this weak pawn on a6. I just decide to take it. Knight to c3, rook to a5, cutting the king off. Now I decided to just take the king on take the pawn on h6. Oh yeah. Here the simplest solution was just to take the knight. I play king f5 and take those pawns, and this black king will always have to keep looking at the a pawn. Wow, this is something I completely forgot. I played rook to a3, king to h5, targeting the h6 pawn. King h6. Need to be really careful not to blunder anything. So I spent a little bit of time, calculated h4, spent a minute again, played rook to a7, f2 seems to be very close, but here comes rook f7, defending, knight king to e3, h5, knight to c3, h6, knight to e4, king g6. The king will not allow this knight anywhere near the h6 pawn. h7, and that's where the game ended. I think that this position is good enough for me to checkmate my opponent, but based on my previous games, some people might not be 100% sure. Anyway, that's how it went. You see, sometimes remembering the opening theory moves doesn't really matter, because all you need is have a great plan that you stick to. If you have a great idea, something is gonna work out. Thank you, and I just hope to talk with you soon. Bye.